Basically, we discussed about responsiveness in the last session. Okay, so how do we bring responsiveness in the page? And we discussed that um, what are the techniques like responsiveness, how to bring responsiveness. So media queries we studied about fluid layouts, what are the units we can use to have a responsiveness in our page. Okay, so these were some things we already did. Okay, rest, let me share my screen also. So guys, all of you have submitted your assignments. Front-end assignments are done, right? HTML CSS part. Any difficulty in that?
Sir, are you talking about the assignment which is there in the course, right?
Yes, the resume project and the music players. Those are done.
Right now, no, I'm not done with those. Unable.
Okay, okay. So I would request you guys to like have completed before the deadline, and we are going to begin with JavaScript. Okay. Okay, all right. Let's see what we have left in HTML and CSS, and then we will probably be moving to JavaScript. Okay, so that it would be interesting, right? Learning JavaScript. So if you have already started, that's well and good. Otherwise, we'll see. ठीक है. So the point is कि we discussed about the positioning attribute display properties in couple of classes. ठीक है, previous classes में हमने ये discuss किया था. Then we discuss about Z index, fluid fixed layout, media queries. We should avoid horizontal scrolling on mobile devices. We know why, right? So we generally scroll vertical. ठीक है, so we learned that also. Next thing we are going to see is something which is animation and 3D space. So, what are animations? How do they work? What are the things regarding this? Well, let's see that. Okay. And next, we'll be switching to Bootstrap. So, let's get started. I will quickly open code and basically in HTML CSS, so we have normal pages. We can add colors, we can add styles. Whereas when we move to, let's say we want something dynamic, something moving in our pages. Okay, so just like animation or transition, so we can do those things. Okay, कैसे करते हैं? Let's see. So let me open the folder. So where did we have it? We have in documents, right? So documents and yes, here it is. ठीक है, so we'll be creating a file, let's say transition, let's say. Okay, let's call it animation dot html. How do we bring animation? Anyone wants to say what are the tags, what are the styles we can use for animation? Do you have you guys used any of them? ठीक है, let's see. If it's the first time, it's fine. Okay, let's see. Even if it's the first time, so let's make a two div over here. Not favorite, should be div, right? And let me increase the brightness. I'm not able to see my own screen. All right, and I will increase the size also. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, so there are two divs. Let's give them some height and width. So I will say style tag. Generally, for convenience, I'm writing the style here. Otherwise, it's highly advisable to create a separate CSS file. External CSS is always preferred. Okay? So I hope you guys follow that. And providing a class for this one, let's say dev1. All right. Okay, makes sense. Now this dev1 is going to take height and just let's say 50 pixel. Then we have width, let's say 50 pixels, and the border, its direction, border. All right. ठीक है. So let's get started with this animation thing. All right. Now, there are two things. One thing is we call it transform. Anyone knows why do we use transform? Transform पता है क्या? ठीक है. So transform means अगर if I have my div and I want to bring some dimensional changes का मतलब होगा कि या तो मैं height width में changes करना चाहता हूँ या तो मैं उसकी लाइक आई वांट टू चेंज इट्स पोजीशन, आई वांट टू रोटेट इट. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ करना चाहता हूँ तो ये सब मैं ट्रांसफॉर्म की प्रॉपर्टी से कर सकता हूँ. कैसे करते हैं? अगर मैं कहूँ स्केल, ठीक है, इफ आई से लेट्स से स्केल एंड स्केल इज अ प्रॉपर्टी. अगर मैं इसमें टू लिखता हूँ तो आई एम स्केलिंग माई बॉक्स. ठीक है, आई एम स्केलिंग माई बॉक्स टू इंटू द साइज. ठीक है, मैं इसको टू इंटू द साइज से स्केल करता हूँ. अगर आप देखोगे तो हाइट एंड विड्थ हैज 50 पिक्सल्स, बट एज सुन एज आई राइट ट्रांसफॉर्म स्केल टू, इट हैज स्केल्ड. स्केलिंग मीन्स कि हाइट और विड्थ को मल्टीप्लाई करना, वॉट एवर बी द स्केल विल. दिस इज वन थिंग. वी हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड एज रोटेट ऑल्सो. ठीक है, ये ट्रांसफॉर्म की प्रॉपर्टीज है. तो यू हैव स्केल, यू हैव ट्रांसफॉर्म. ठीक है, और इसमें आप कोई भी डिग्री लिख सकते हो. ठीक है, सो यू कैन राइट दी 60 डिग्री. 60 डिग्री मीन्स 60 डिग्री. राइट. um, Apart from this, you can choose from this counter also, whatever be the dimension you want. ठीक है, सो दिस इज रोटेट एंड स्केल. देयर आर सम अदर प्रॉपर्टीज. ठीक है, अगर आपको दिस इज फॉर लाइक z एक्सिस बट इट वोंट फील एनीथिंग बिकॉज. ठीक है, अगर आपको वाई एक्सिस के अलॉन्ग इसको मूव करना है, यानी वाई एक्सिस है तो यू नो व्यू पोर्ट जो है, ये दिस इज द एक्स एक्सिस और ये वाली वाई एक्सिस है. सो वाई एक्सिस इज फ्रॉम टॉप लेफ्ट कॉर्नर. आप जो दिस इज द टॉप लेफ्ट कॉर्नर विच इज ओरिजिन ऑफ आर व्यू पोर्ट. ठीक है, तो टॉप टू डाउन इज द वाई एक्सिस एंड लेफ्ट टू राइट इज द एक्स एक्सिस. तो if you want to translate in y direction 10 pixels, so you can do this. In x direction you can do the other part. Okay. What are the other things we have? So something called as skewness. Skewness means rotating along the axis. ठीक है, जैसे आप डोर ओपन करते हो ना तो किसी एक्सिस के अलॉन्ग अपने डोर को रोटेट करने लगते हो. द सेम थिंग इज हियर. ये है कि स्क्यू वाई मीन्स यू वांट टू रोटेट फ्रॉम वाई. ठीक है, तो 10 डिग्री इफ यू वांट. अदरवाइज यू वांट टू रोटेट अलोंग द एक्स एक्सिस, अगर एक्स एक्सिस से आप रोटेट करना चाहते हो. ठीक है, स्क्यू फॉर बोथ एक्स एंड वाई एक्सिस. ठीक है, एंड दीज आर द थिंग्स. ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी चेक इट आउट. ठीक है, चेक इट आउट द प्रॉपर्टीज. आई होप दिस इज. सो ट्रांसफॉर्म इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू गाइस. ट्रांसफॉर्म क्लियर हुआ सबको? एनी इश्यूज इन दिस?
Sir, please, sir, but please explain in detail 3D, 3D about 3D element
3D.
in
Okay.
transfer.
Okay. So we do not have something for 3D. Let me. We need to do something so that we can see 3D. So we already have height and width, but I will try to give some values so that we see this. All right. Now, if you see this if you see this box, whatever box we are having on our screen, so this part is our y-axis, this is x-axis, and outside the, like let's say outside your screen, which it feels to be outside, is called as the z-axis. Okay, which is not exactly the z-axis. It is trying to give a depth effect. Okay, if you see, it is trying to give a depth effect. Okay, but that is not, obviously it's not exactly depth because we have a 2D monitor, we do not have something 3D. Okay, so that is why it just feels going in that direction. Let me try this one once. Okay, now if you see this rotation along the z axis, see this. Let me try. Okay, so it just feels rotating it does not feel rotating around any axis. um, it is feeling like there is a pointer, okay, there is a perpendicular from our screen, and this div is just rotating at its center, because that is what the z axis is. Are you guys getting the point what I'm saying? Like, the axis is out of the screen.
Yes, sir, got it. This is 3D, 2D. Why? That's why it's repeating in center.
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
Yes, Z axis, along a Z axis. Okay, got it.
Yes. So it will feel like, yeah, skewness, you can see. It will give you more context. Okay. All right. What can I use? Yeah, let's try this. If I just, okay, in translate 3D part, if I just try to change this, let's see what we are getting. Translate Y, translate 3D is not getting work. Okay, all right. Not sure how to represent this one. Maybe I can find something with this one. But it's really not that easy. We need to create something for this one. Mm, okay. Okay, let me find some style. Then we'll see this. But yeah, the point is, it's a bit hard to reproduce that 3D effect. Okay, and it will require some more divs over here. Okay, and that is also a very special edge case. So I'm not sure how I would be using. That is why we have something for our help. Okay, so we'll see in a minute. There's a package. There's a script already for our help in order to do these tasks. Okay. All right. Moving to the next one. So this is transform. Okay. This is transform. There's something called as transition and animation. Okay. This one is transform. Next one is transition and animation. For transition, let's see something. So this is a transition property. It is combined of lots of other properties. Okay, let me. There are 5 6 properties. Transition. Let me check if I not transition along the height. Yeah, transition along the height. Uh, okay, so 4 transition properties are there. So along the height, and then the delay. Okay, give me a sec. You can obviously go to MDN. Okay, so last class I also said, if you want to reference, you want something as a reference, if you do not want to remember everything, obviously we cannot remember everything. So MDN would be the standard place to go. Right? So this can be one thing. So just please check this out. Okay, so it is Mozilla documentation, and we'll see. Okay, we'll try to reproduce this. Let's see how we can reproduce. So first property will be any of our. The first property will be any of our. What do you say? Any of our dimensions. For example, what I was going to take is height. Okay, let's take height only, and next comes the timing. Okay, how does this work? Let's see. Someone have used transition before? Let's see. What happens is, we already know about this one, guys. Hover, which is a,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we know that, right? Pseudo state, I guess, right? Okay. So this is a pseudo state selector, hover. Hover is only when we put our mouse on it. I say that I want the height to be 100 pixels instead of 50. Now this transition is only working if there is a difference. Okay, if there is something changing in our page, then only it will work. For example, height was 50 pixels and height is 100 pixels. Let's try this. So I restart it, right? Okay. Uh, did it? All right. It is not div. It is a div one over, right? Makes sense. Okay. So see this part. What is happening? Now on hover I want the height to be 100 pixels, but I do not want to abrupt height. Abrupt means that will be a quick effect, right? If I do not use if I just remove this transition and you see the change, uh, guys, you're seeing this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So but when the transition is on, you see this kind of thing. Now there are some other properties in so this is what the uh, dimension on which I want to put transition. I wanted to put on height. Okay, I can put on height. I can put on width also. Okay. Next is the time which we give for the transition to complete. Okay, which we give for the transition to complete. Now there is a third parameter. Third parameter is something we call it the transition effect. Okay, so what will be the effect? Effects are of many type. We'll see one of them and discuss other. So there's something called as ease in out. Okay, ease in out. Ease in out says that when the animation is starting and when the animation is ending, that both things would be smooth. What do I mean by this is, if you see the starting and ending is smooth. Okay. Now it has some other properties. Let's say ease in. Okay. So starting is a smooth, but ending is not. Ending is a bit fast. For example, let me increase the timing, then it would be more visible. And you guys can play with the combination. Okay. So let's just quickly do it so that we can move to bootstrap also. Now, ease out is just the opposite. Starting will be quick, ending will be slow. Okay. Let me make the thing more. Okay. Over I have added. This is forcing element to state. Okay. There's an option dot hover. You can force hover over the div. You do not have to put your mouse. Otherwise, right click on your div. Right click on the div. Force state, and you can choose any state from here. Make sense, guys?
Okay, got it.
Okay. All right. This will be more clear. I will remove hover and make it natural. Okay. See this. It is saying that ending would be smooth. Okay. Ending would be ease, but okay. So ending would be the smooth, but starting would be quick. Let's see. So if you see quickly starting and ending is ease. So this is what this animation effect is. So this is the third argument. There's one more argument which takes the iteration count, means how many times we want to run the animation. I okay. I guess I'm missing something. Hmm. All right. Okay, so there is one more property. Let me check. What am I missing? So color. Okay, margin 2 second and this 1 second. Hmm. Okay. Let me check. So transition timing function. So here is everything we need for this. Oh yes, got it. I want some delay in starting the animation, then I can do something like this. So delay means after some seconds, my animation should start. For example, I want the animation to start after 2 seconds of hover. Okay, after 2 seconds of hover, so I can do this. How it will work? Let's see. One, two. See. So this is what is the transition property is basically all about. All right, let's see one more property, okay, and then we will be probably that is one other thing, okay. So this is transition, transform, and here comes the third one. We call it animation. All right, so let's say animation. Okay, don't worry, we'll fill all these data over whatever we want. Animation says I can have some animation, um, custom animations. What do I mean by custom animation? Let's see. So at the rate keyframes, okay. There's something called as keyframes, and I want to create some animation. All right, how to create some animation? Let's see. Let's see what I'm trying to do, and then we'll discuss more. So height, or maybe top. Let's see. All right, let it be around something. Then let it be 50. Also, this is 25 and 50. Okay, all right. So let it be. Uh, okay. Then I go with 75. Again brings it to top 50. Finally, the 100%, which makes the top S 100 pixels again. All right. This is what we have. Okay. So try to do it. Now, animation requires animation name. So this is what I have created. We call it keyframes. Keyframes tells the state of my animation at a different duration. Like when 0% animation should be finished, what is the position of my element? When 20%, 25%, 75%, and 100%. How does this work? I can write my animation name, whatever I have over here. Okay, I can write this one. I need to mention the duration. So duration would be around let's say 4 second. All right. Timing function will be, let's say, ease in out. Okay. Delay. I want 1 second delay. Then comes the iteration count. Iteration count means how many times I want to run my animation. So maybe only one time. This for now. Direction. We'll talk about this. Okay. So there are two direction. One is, so one is by default, and there is a alternate direction. Okay. So alternate is a property, I guess. Yeah, alternate is a property. But yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's see this what we have created. Also, top will only work. Okay. Top will only work if we have some positioning to the element. Otherwise, it will not work. Position relative. I hope this is all. Now, how can I make this box round? Any guesses? How can I make this box round? How can I make my div round? Anyone wants to try? All right. There is something called as. Okay, first, I will give a background. Let's call it yellow. Yellow background, yellow ball. And next will be what I want to give it, border radius. Okay, border radius. Okay, and it will be 50%. So when you give border radius as 50%, so you get a round div. Is it clear, guys? How to get a round div? All right. So this is what we can use. Okay. Let me make it this one. We do not need these two as of now. All right. Okay, so we can see that there is something. Okay, so this bounce is not that perfect, but okay, you can see that we are trying to make this ball, like ball bounce. Okay, and we can do one more thing with this one, so it looks more lively. What I can do is I can give it some left properties also, or I can provide the left property here. So make the left to, let's say, 10 pixels. Alright, and left again to, let's say, 30 pixels, then left to 50, then left to, let's say, 60, and finally left to 65. And to make it more good, let's do one more thing. So at a 0, I want it to be, let's say, 90, and then it goes to 50, and it again comes to 100. Okay, again comes to 100, and then again 50. All right, and then again 100. Not 50, let's make it 30. It will be good now. Let's see. Also, let me change this color also. All right, now, okay, so this is how animations work. So we can like create something else from this one, but so this is how what we have. Is animation clear, guys? Guys, is this thing clear?
Ah, yes, yes, got it.
Okay. Now, there are some more animations we can play with or we can design with, but there is something for our help. That is, we have a site, we call it animate.css or animate. The package name is animate CSS, the website is animate.style. So you can see this. Very good animations are there. You can just directly use an app. So this is something as mouse. We can create this one. Okay. There's nothing we cannot create on our own, but yeah, like all, you already have some things. Okay. So this is bounce. We have something called as flash. Can someone tell how can I do this flash thing? Anyone have any idea about this flash?
I think activity
Opacity,
class
right?
was opposite. Yes, opposite. Sorry,
Yes,
opposite.
yes, yes, yes. That's correct. So see, the point is we can do this, but yeah, we already have something. Now pulse is very easy. How can we do this?
Increase the size. You can.
Font
Uh,
size, right?
font size. Yes, yes, font
Yes,
size.
yes, yes, yes. This is the same thing, like combination of styles. So we can use this animate CSS in our pages. Okay, so we can use this. All right. How do we use it? Anyone have used it yet?
Yes, sir. I use it a bit.
Okay, so yeah, how it works basically is we can I will just do if you have already used that's good and fine. Otherwise, we can do something like this. Always remember, write your style after all the link tags. Okay, your style should come at the end. Okay, in the head only, but at the end. Okay, why is that? Why I'm saying that? Any guesses?
Also, what?
Yeah. So I'm saying that because our style should not be overridden. Okay, so that is why we should write our style at the end. All right. Currently, I will So this is the link tag we have to put. This is basically CSS file which will be downloaded, nothing else. Okay. And it says how to use it. It says that you after installing animate CSS, add the class animate animated to an element along with any of the animation names. Don't forget to add the animate underscore underscore prefix. Okay. So let's do that. Or maybe we can copy the complete h1 class. This is a class name. We need to use two class names, and the second will be the name of animation. Let's try this one. All right. See, the point is, it is not working as expected. Any guesses why it is not working? Because our style is overriding this bounce what we have in the link. So I need to comment my style. Okay? Because this style also has a bounce and I also has a bounce. So that is why it is not working. It is working. So this is how we can use animate CSS. Make sense, guys?
Okay, got it, sir.
All right. Let's proceed then. Okay, so we are on the verge of completion. Okay. So if you have any doubts, anything, okay, please tell. Next is Bootstrap. Bootstrap you have used, guys? Anyone tried Bootstrap?
Yes, sir, I tried, sir. I tried it.
Right. So, what did like? What are the things? What are the components? Can you explain in brief? What is Bootstrap and how it helps us creating pages?
So Bootstrap is a framework, sir. As you say, okay, it saves our time, sir. By
And how exactly? Like, let's say I want to create a form. So, how can Bootstrap help me?
or sir, what?
I want to create a user form where user I need details from user. So, how can Bootstrap help me with that?
Usually you can search that user form in Bootstrap. You can add the class to that,
Mhm.
and it will.
All right. Yes, yes, correct. Very correct. Yeah, that's how Bootstrap works. So Bootstrap says that the I have all components made. Form I have card layout, I have carousels, and I have whatnot, like whatever is needed. Just use it in our pages. That is the analogy over here. Okay, makes sense. Hmm. Moving with the next part, we say that next is let's see Bootstrap. Let's get into it. So I'll say bootstrap, not this boot. Really sorry. So okay, this is the new one. All right, we do not want the npm thing right now. We will need in next lectures. It is saying that get started with Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a powerful feature-packed front-end toolkit. Build anything from prototype to production in minutes. So from prototype to production in minutes. Quick start. Get started by including Bootstrap production ready CSS, production ready CSS, and JavaScript via CDN without the need of any build steps. That is also good. So production ready CSS and JavaScript. JavaScript is used inside Bootstrap, so we do not need to learn JavaScript right now to use it. We can use it without having the knowledge. Okay. Although next sessions will be of JavaScript itself, so we'll use it there. No issues. Now, this is what we are having in Bootstrap. So include Bootstrap, CSS, and GS. How to do it? So let's give it a quick start and try to create something. Okay, let's see. bootstrap .html. All right. To have a quick start, it says that create index HTML file, okay, and a meta name viewport. This all thing we are done with. It says include bootstrap CSS and JS file. So here is the link tag we need. Let's copy this one first. Then we require the script tag. So CSS is loaded before my HTML loads, but JavaScript is loaded after my HTML loads. There are two things. CSS should be loaded before any tag is loaded, whereas script should be loaded at the end after all the HTML is loaded. We'll see why it is being like that. Okay, this answer I do not want. I want this answer. So why should we load a link in the head tag itself? Why should load CSS first? Any guesses?
I think because of first to design the to load the design the structure of HTML.
Correct. So let's say that if heading is there before the CSS loads, and we have added a style for heading, but heading will be without any style because CSS is loading after the heading, right? So that is why style should come. So when heading comes, heading knows how to get displayed or how to get formatted on the page. Make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. Point is, how Bootstrap works. Let's see. So we just need something, some discussion around some things. Remember the media queries class? We added some um, max width kind of thing over there. Remember that class, guys?
Yes, God, I know.
Okay. So in case of media queries, we give max width or min width. Min width for mobile first design and max width for desktop first design. Right? Am I right?
Yes, sir, right, sir.
Okay. We can discuss it once again. It's no problem. But let's come here. Now, media query says, give us the width. Give us the width. For example, if I want to put some style on mobile devices, it is a standard that mobile width will be equal to or less than 576 pixel. 576 pixel. Okay. So small and extra small is basically um, like said as these are the mobile width. Okay, 9 and 92, 992, 768. So below 992 it is said that it is tablet width, tablet whatever tablet we have. After 992, bigger than 992, it is desktop and other workstations are. This is what we have. So these are the breakpoints. Now media queries have different ways to get tiles and all this sort of things are there. All right. The point is, Bootstrap says, Bootstrap, the logic of Bootstrap is divide this complete width into 12 parts. Okay? Divide this complete page we see into 12 parts, like column wise. Okay? Row wise, it can be anything because we just cared about horizontal scrolling. I do not want to do any horizontal scrolling, something like vertical scroll is fine. Okay? So vertical can be many content, that is not a problem, but width should be inside the page. The point is कि this complete page is divided in 12 part by bootstrap. Okay? um, and the next point is bootstrap has these width whatever the standard width has. It call it XS, SM for small, MD for medium, LG for large, XL for large, and this is extra large, large, extra large, and extra extra large. So this is what, yeah, to do not need to remember this. Okay, you do not have to remember this. You just need to remember the prefix. Okay, we call it prefix. Okay, we'll see this. This is the first point in Bootstrap. Okay, after that link and JavaScript thing. Next, we so containers are fundamental building block of Bootstrap that contain, pad, and align your content within a given device or viewport. Um, Guys, remember that Flex thing? Flex has a container and we had items inside it. Remember that?
Yes, yes, I remember.
So that is the same idea. This Bootstrap is combination of both of them, Flex and Grid. It is combination of both, and it works. So see, the point is, yeah, I'm not saying that Bootstrap is needed and we cannot do about it without it, but yeah, like like just to get a little extra help so that we can design something. So, and Bootstrap, how Bootstrap style our elements? Bootstrap says, hey, please copy this class and paste it in your class, and I will work. So this is the whole idea behind it. The complete Bootstrap has this class logic. It will give you a class name, put the class name inside that. That is it. How it works. Let's create a container, but before that, let's see something else, so that we have something to see. So there are two type of containers, okay? And containers are responsive. Remember, containers are responsive. So Bootstrap is more focusing on mobile first responsive design. Mobile first responsive design. It is not only helping us in creating tags, creating or formatting style. It is also helping us in designing mobile first and responsive web pages. Coming back, Fluid containers. We'll see what is Fluid containers. Rest, do we have anything to include? All right. It says that use our powerful mobile first flex box, great to build layouts of all shape size and an extra is given. Right. Okay, we'll see that part later. Coming back, complete page will be divided into row and columns inside the container. How do we do it? Let's see. There's more like lot of theory. Let's see something in code. So I will say class equals to container. The spelling of, just need to confirm if the spelling is correct, right? This thing will be taken care of. If container includes many class, container includes many row. Many rows include many columns. Many rows include many columns.
So col, COL.
Thank you. Yep, I remember that. Thank you. So let's say that I want to have three columns in a particular row and I want three rows also. Right? Three rows having three columns each, and but the second row I want to have only two columns. How does it work? Let's see. All right. If you pay attention over here, now my complete page. This was my page. Now I didn't add anything. If you carefully see, all my rows are given flex by, not by default, by Bootstrap. Obviously, there's nothing by default. There's something by default, but flex is not by default. Flex is given by Bootstrap itself, and as we saw, a container has many rows, and many rows has many columns. Now, the first column is of having three inside it. Okay. So we have three columns inside it, and these are equal width columns without giving any style from us. Similarly, we have two columns without giving any styles, and the third column without giving any styles. This is how it works. Is it responsive? Check it out. So what if I just do this? See this, guys. Like obviously, 398 pixel is really small, so no device would be that as small. But yeah, the point is, it's responsive. Make sense, guys? Is it clear till here?
Fair.
See that we have six responsive breakpoints. We already discussed this. All right. Let's see one more thing, guys. Now, by default, they are equal width. Remember what I told? There are 12 columns. How it deal with? There are 12 columns. Okay. It says that it will have. Sorry. It says that it has 12 columns for the complete page. Now, how do we occupy the columns we want? Let's say that I want my first box to occupy 4 column. Okay. Second, I want 6 column, and third, I want 2 columns. So if I count 4 plus 6, 10 plus 10 plus 2 is 12. All right. So this is how the assigning columns. So how can we assign columns? So equal width is correct, but what if I want to give different width? Now this is how the different width. It is only for row one. Okay. Let's check the widths of each column. So column one, we have given 4. So if you see, it is 240 pixels. Then we have something 360 pixels, and finally we have 120 pixels. Okay, so it is in the ratio of 4, 6, and 2. Make sense? So this is how it works. Is it clear, guys?
Clear, clear.
This is what we call it variable length. Now, it is not just with the direct column. We can say this also. Um, column large 2. Okay, column large 2. So let me change it here itself. Okay. Not CM, it is SM, right? All right. Column SM. Okay. All right. So if I go till here, let's see this. Till what point this thing are applied? Okay. Obviously, since these columns are only for small devices, till small devices, okay, makes sense. Till it small devices, this will work. Otherwise, it will fade out for the first one. All right. So this is what we have. Now we can, whenever we say column is small, so till column is small is what is covered over. All right. Okay, you can check it out. Rest of the things. Let's move forward. Columns and yeah, okay. Feel free to check it out. Okay. Aligning self. Remember that aligning self, aligning center thing we did in Flex. You can have it over here also. Okay. But yeah, like totally depends on the use case, whatever use case you want. Agadus means adding the padding between your columns used to responsibly space and align contents in bootstrap grid system. Sorry, not grid system, grid system. Gutters are the gaps between column contents entered by horizontal padding right and left. How do we add it? So GX5 would be if the rows says GX5, so we get something like this. Or padding 3. Okay. Try it out. Let's try it out. So this is assigned to column, right? So classes to column GX5. Hmm. Let's see. So the padding seems to be increased over here. What if I just don't use it? So um, we can see like things are there, right? The padding is small. Whereas if I say J5, so we can see there's a padding applied. But what ratio it is applied, that is one thing we can check it out. All right. So it says that zero point 0.5 pixels. Now, okay, so is it zero point 0.5? What would it be? We know that we can do this something like this, but I'm more curious what is the value of padding it is applying. Okay, all right. So 1.5 gram. Okay, the next question. What is REM? Remember REM? How many of you remember REM?
Array means related to the root main compared to text by default text is 16 pixel compared to 16 font size.
Correct. Very correct. Yeah, that's the right answer, right? REM is a root element font size. The root element font size by default is 16 pixels, right? So if you say 1.5 REM, so it is 16 at 24 pixels. So whatever be the what I say, like whatever be the uh, padding, it is around 24 pixels. Makes sense, isn't it? All right. So this is what and vertical gutters are also. Please have a look. All right. Anything else do we have here which is important to us? Not very sure about this. Okay. Let's get out. CSS great, and please feel free to read about it. Now it's time that we use the components. Now we are, guys. Are we clear with the bootstrap basic things? Basic things is clear.
Yes, sir. Clear.
All right. How to use it for components building? Let's see. Now there's something called as accordion. Accordion is say built vertically collapsing accordion. So the accordion is that music, like music instrument, just closes and opens. Or Google search result, you have seen some arrows are there and you can open and close it, something like this. Okay, you can build this using what you can say, um, HTML and CSS also. Okay, you can build this also. This would be a good experiment. You can do this. All right, you can put it not on click, you can put it on hover. Okay, so I'm just hover and just opens. Okay, now how to do it? So it gives a beautiful everything, every text aligned, formatted, just get copied and pasted over here. That is it. Yeah, that's a lot of code I know, but yeah, we'll get our work done. See this? So you can just check in, open it, and maybe like something like this. All right, you can see this. So this is how easy it is to use a component. There's nothing we have to do. Put the link, put the JavaScript file, copy the component, and good to go. So this is what. All right, let's try to build something out of it. So we can create a page using this bootstrap. All right, now there's a site we can use. Call it Airbnb. We can use as an idea how to create it. Right. So this is a page. Now I want to design it with bootstrap. How do we do it? Let's see. First part, how to create the navbar. Exact thing may it may happen that we do not get the exact thing, but yeah, so mixing and matching, and we are good. So let's reset this file. Okay, we need the container, right? Let's keep it. Next point: how do we create a navbar in bootstrap? The idea is to create this page somehow. Okay, somehow, like, let's try to match it. In order to do that, how to do it? So first point: navbar is over here. So documentation examples of bootstrap: powerful responsive navigation. Header: the navbar includes support for branding, navigation, and more. How it works, let's see. All right. So, in order to create navbar, something like this, we can copy this code. But if we check this navbar, it has some links, drop down, search as button. Do you have any something like minimal, like not so huge thing, the navbar? All right. Yeah, this seems to be a good one, right? Can use this. So I needed an navbar. I copied it, and that is it. Let's check it out. What do we get in our page? All right, so we have the navbar heading, and we have the search bar. Obviously, like it's huge, but this is how it may look. All right. Next part is navbar can be edited. So we have it over here, something like, okay. Now this container has padding with our document by default. Okay. So although we can remove this by saying that container should be fluid. All right. Let's see. So we have it the full width of our page. Okay. Now this is the Airbnb thing, and this is the search bar. So this is the nav bar we are. Although like it is not so functional, but yeah, we can say that we can create something like this. There's no issue with that. But next thing, how do we create this one? This filter thing. Let's try it out. So creating the filter thing, what we can say that if you just have a look, this is another row, okay, another row with some columns and may have some images. That is it. That is what we okay. So let's try one. So I can say that div, okay, div this class, and this class would be row, and margin top. I guess this is the thing we have. Not so sure, but yeah, let's try it out. Otherwise, we'll change it. So I needed a row to display those icons we see. Now, how can we do that? So we have this div, we add some classes to it. There's goes column, and maybe I have some images over here. So let's say that images, or how to get the images. All right. Dot. All right. Let's implement this images. How do we get the images? So let's see something, guys. Now, whatever you see on your screen, like whatever we have in our web page, that is currently present in my system. Okay, whatever computer is having this site, it has sent all the images, every text on my system. My browser is showing this. It means that I already have all these downloaded in my browser. I just need to find it. One way is either I click on the inspect, and I get the image URL from here. That is one way. All right. Other way is this is element, right? I hope you guys know about this element and style. We are already doing this from several classes. There's something other tab I want you guys to see, which we call the network tab. Just for this class, don't worry. We'll study these things in later, but not now. Now, this network tab shows every file downloaded from our web page. Everything this web page require will be listed over here, whatever the resources it wants, whatever images are there, so you can get it. How that works? Let's see. Everything is a style, whatever be the style, whatever the script, images, CSS, everything is loaded. But we are more interested in the image. So if you see there is a filter, I can click on image and I get the images over here. How do I find the right one? Just click on any of them and I can get this. So you see this house and there's something, all the images we have over. See this? So maybe we can pick something. Yeah, let's pick this one. How do you pick this? So select like click on this one. Alright. We'll say save images as, and that is saved in our system. We can save any images we want. Alright. Now I can use this image in our project. So how to do that thing? So like alright, give me a sec guys. Let me drag it. So I can just simply drag this image over here, right? I don't want to open it, just want to drag it. Alright, so now we have the image. Let's use this image. So you can see this image, right? I will say rename and house.jpg. That is it. Bootstrap, I can say house.jpg and the height would be 24 pixels, width 24 pixels, and yeah, pixels. All right, so this is how we are designing the icons row. Let's see what we get. All right, I did not want to see this screen. Where is our screen? Here it is. So you can see that we are able to generate, although like not according to that, but yeah, somehow we can just reach at this also. Okay. So something we can do for this also. Now, guys, is it getting clear? How are we using Bootstrap in our pages?
Yes, clear, clear.
Okay. Now, it would be good we work on this card. Okay. So I hope you guys can like do some editing and like make it look like how it is. Now, how do we get these things? Like we have this over here. Okay. Card based layout is there and it is having some carousel thing inside it. Yeah, card based layout and something carousel things are inside. All right. we're back. Now, how to design this? Let's see that part also. So, in order to design this card, we see a image, text, and text. We call it card-based layout, and we have a support for this also. Bootstrap cards provide a flexible and extensible content container with a multiple variant and options. How does it work? Images here, some text is here, and a button is. Some actionable is. So, image and text. You can use this one. Let's try this. Okay. All right. So we call it the diff and have some columns, and in the columns we can have the cards. The cards can take some. Let's say we need some location over instead of some text. So you can say that this location is in Kolkata. All right. How do we get the image? The image, same thing. How did we get? How did we get another image? We can do something like go to network tab, do a quick refresh, click on images, and that is what we have. All right. So we have all the images over here, right? We can choose any one of them. So let's see that we need to save the image finally, and let's copy it over here. All right. This image source will be replaced with house2.jpg along with some height and width. All right. And we can have multiple of columns as we have in the page. So maybe we can have, let's say, um, four of them. Okay, let's see the layout, what we get. So I will make it full, come back and do a quick refresh. All right. So you can see that although changes are required, I accept that, but yeah, the point is um, we can like uh, get the card based layout and everything. Like we see that not much work has to be done now, more now. You can just add these things over here. All right. And we can get things. Maybe we can add the text, maybe we can add the icon, and this thing will be working totally fine. So this is how it works. If you look at the complete page, this is something we can achieve with completely with bootstrap itself. Okay, even the this contact and all those things we can be achieved, and we can create this complete site with bootstrap itself. Where to get the icons? Do you guys know about font option?
Yes, sir, font option.
Yep. So that is where we get the icon. Maybe the filter icon which we needed, maybe we can start also. So there's the filter icon, right? So we can choose something from here, or maybe there's a settings icons also, so you can choose. There's also, all right. How do we use it? So maybe we can just copy it, and this is the icon tag, right? You can put the icon tag wherever you want. So maybe we can put it here. Right. That's what I said. But we need something called as CSS files or JS files, which holds all these things, right? So how do we get that? Font awesome. CDN. CDN is Content Delivery Network. These are some servers kept at a different world location, which provides us the resources. Okay? Because maybe the resources from is stored in somewhere in America, right? So it would be very hard to get it from there. So CDN has servers nearby places, maybe Asia, Mumbai or something, and they try to deliver the right resources. Okay. Similarly, okay, so we can see that we have this filter icon over here. Although we need to add buttons and all those, and we can get this thing. But yeah, this is what basically we have. I hope you guys have some clarity now how Bootstrap work and the transition animation and transform thing.
Yes, yes, got it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there would be just a quick revision class next day, that is on Sunday, and we will kick off our JavaScript classes. We'll get started with that. I hope like HTML CSS was good journey. Will JavaScript is more interesting, right? We'll cover that, and hope you guys to see you there. But yeah, before you go, attendance. Where is the seat? Right. Okay, it's already open here. Yes. Also, if you have any feedback regarding the session, regarding the teaching style, timings, and anything, please feel free to ask. Right. I don't know like why we have so less attendance, but yeah, like, please feel free to suggest any changes if you want. Right. So, guys, which are present today, Aman is here, right? Aman.
Yes.
So, guys here, and Vikas is also here, right? All right. We have lots of people not attending the session. I'm not sure. So Rajat was here for quite some time. Okay, we'll see that.